Last year, I made it a personal goal to read a book a week. And this has been so important to me because reading's allowed me to go into the minds of so many people, and it's helped me grow a different perspective on the world. Reading's allowed me to grow more focus and attention, and reading's let me have more intelligent and meaningful conversations with people. Fit Sold Out Life is a mindfulness brand, and this week I wanted to share how I grew a mindfulness practice while reading these books and how I applied them to the real world. Before I start any book, I tell myself that most books are suggestions. Unless you're reading books on science, most books are written on the basis of authors' opinions. So don't treat what you read as a definite law that runs the world. Second is don't try to apply everything at once because you'll probably burn out. Early on, I would try applying everything I read into my life. And the best way to describe this experience is when you're starting out a New Year resolution. The first week, you're all about it. You're doing everything you can every single day. And then come second week, you feel more worn out. So you skip a day or here or there. And then third week, you tell yourself that you need to take a mental break. So then you take a whole week off. And that goes to your fourth week where you go back into your normal routine again. And through this experience, I've coined the term the power of one, which is just to pick one thing and run with it because that allows you to build that keystone habit. And not everything you read will also resonate with you. I used to be so hard on myself when I wasn't understanding of the author's message or their values. And accept that not everything you read will help you in your perspective on the world. But one advice I do have is acknowledge that people will have different points of views and their values. And learning to accept their views will allow you to have more intelligent and meaningful conversations with them. And also, it's okay to stop reading a book if you're not feeling it. There's been so many times where I've stopped reading a book because it's too repetitive, boring, or just the author's plain blah. It's okay. And in terms of reading and remembering the content that you're consuming, it's so easy to zip through a book and move on to the next one. It's also so easy to just underline parts of the book thinking that you're learning. But how many times do you actually go back and read those underlined notes? But the real learning here, guys, comes from going back into the chapters and rereading these passages that interest you and writing them down. And once you're done reading, go back to the notes and highlight the ones that resonated with you. And take those lessons that you've highlighted and apply it to the real world. In my experience, reading a book and taking notes can take you only so far. A good example of this is when we're in school and we learn math or physics and we're doing these book problems. The learning stops when we don't apply them into real world situations. And that's the only way to formulate your own meaning of life. The idea here is to use the knowledge that the books have to offer you as a way to feed your mind. And this is the only way to grow and become an expert in whatever field you're interested in. In the art of being mindful, understand that becoming a multi-dimensional individual is to dive into the minds of other people and learn their values, learn their views. So next time you walk into a bookstore, instead of seeing them just as books, see them as an access into the greatest minds in the world, and your perspective will change.